Look what happened to my coriander while I was gone. Whoa! I did water it before I went in. Welcome to the International Meditation Center. Many years ago, one of my exes once told me that meditation makes me angry. And honestly, this retreat came fully prepared to test that theory. I came here looking for peace and ended up sneaking out back into my van most nights. First of all, ChatGPT lied to me once again. I did not have my own room. This was our room. And these beds? They were clearly made for kids. I am 6'2", so the first night on this thing was an absolute nightmare. The next day, I moved the bed frame into the only free space I could find in this already crowded room. Don't worry, I tied it down so it wouldn't fall on anyone. And after that, I slept on the floor. The girl in this bed had her phone set to vibrate, and she kept receiving messages every 3 to 15 minutes while I was trying to meditate. She also had her fan running all night, every night, even though by day 3 the temperature had dropped dramatically and it was bloody freezing. Then there were the tree branches banging and scratching against the roof. Even this door latch wouldn't stop squeaking in the wind. I literally had to jam sticks into it to make it quiet. Needless to say, I only slept in that room for the first 2 nights. After that, I started sneaking back into my cozy, quiet van every night. And I didn't even realize how much sensory overload I was under until the first time the van door shut behind me. And suddenly, everything went silent. This huge wave of relief just spread through my whole body. That was the moment I realized how overwhelmed I had been. I really missed the rigid discipline of Goenka's retreats. At those places, nobody would have a buzzing phone. In fact, someone even brought a phone like that into the meditation hall, and it buzzed 4 times before I finally got up and left. There wouldn't be someone blow-drying their hair while everyone is supposed to be meditating. And there definitely wouldn't be a teacher telling everyone on day 9, after silence is lifted, to still stay quiet around the meditation hall in case someone wants to keep meditating. Only to later walk in there with a bunch of older students and start having a full-blown conversation, while I am sitting there having the best meditation of my life and trying not to let them to snap me out of it. My frustration with the food I already explained pretty well in the last video. Excuse the mess, I still have to put everything away. I just got out of the retreat. I wanted to spend some time in nature, away from other people, so I didn't want to go straight to Perth. So yeah, here I am after the retreat, camping in the middle of nowhere, because all I wanted was some real peace and quiet. I wasn't ready for the city. I wasn't ready for people. And when I was in the retreat, I was thinking about my dehydrated garlic, and I was thinking I could actually soak it in some oil with a little bit of salt, let it marinate. There is some salt that Leanne gave me. Look at this little cute jar. I have some walnut oil. And since they didn't even give us lunch, I was thinking I will try to make some potato mash out of my dehydrated potatoes, because There was no shop on the way here. Actually, there were shops in Mundaring, but because I had to jump start the car, I didn't want to stop that soon. I would much rather do some shopping around here after 1 hour of driving, but there was nothing here. Here it says to mix 1 cup of potato flakes with approximately 1.5 cups of boiling water. I don't have a cup, so I'm going to eyeball it. So it's set to cover it and leave it for 2 minutes. So that's what I have done. And now I'm gonna put some nooch. And maybe a little bit of oil because I don't have butter. For some reason I like to eat my potato mash with jalapenos. And maybe some fried shallots on top. Lunch. I laughed that even though I ate everything that would spoil before the retreat and I haven't been shopping since, I can still eat really well. Thankfully, I still had soy milk, which means I can make my beloved semolina porridge. Or maybe a curry? No problem. I don't have potatoes, but I still had udon noodles. The temperature had dropped a lot lately, which is why I am not in a rush to head south just yet. The last swim before I left was absolutely phenomenal. The water was crystal clear and my friend Nemo showed up with her calf. Nemo was actually born with a deformed dorsal fin, which is how she got her name. Everyone originally thought she was a boy, until she turned up with a baby. Anyway, time to head back to civilization. First, I need to make myself look presentable. I just had a shower at this truck stop. It was free, it wasn't too bad. And now I'm going to head to Perth because I'm out of water almost. I need to stock up. I think I will go to our favorite, To our favorite Serbian bakery to get some goodies. And then, I don't know.
Does it look like weight or
So I just got back. I finished recording the video about Vipassana, so I can finally relax and cook my lunch. You may not know it, but I actually don't like making these videos where I have to sit and talk for an extended period of time, because I feel like a lot of pressure to speak fluently, to not have any and or pauses, and to always find the right word, to not make many cuts so that you guys don't get annoyed. And it's just like I have lampen fever. But then the process of editing I actually enjoy. There it goes. Leanne, we need more. What I have learned is that I have to put the chunky stuff on the bottom and the dehydrated veggies on the top. If I put them on the bottom, it's gonna burn. Thankfully, this pot is very smart. It knows when it's burning and it stops cooking and it lets you know. But still, it's pretty annoying. So now I just put the dehydrated veggies on top. I don't have much left. I will have to mix some new batch. My favorite plum roses from the Serbian bakery. And since I'm in Perth, Of course I had to stop by Loving Hut and get the best laksa in the world. Let's see how much hate I get for eating the noodles this way. You know, I hardly ever eat out, but I simply cannot say no to this laksa. And honestly, 18 bucks for a bowl this big is a very reasonable price. I have been in Perth for a week now, just sneaking around on the streets, and I must admit I'm not having much fun. Ever since my friend Gabriela moved back to the Czech Republic, there is nothing for me in Perth besides laksa and plum roses. But I'm pretty undecisive. I don't know where to go because I don't know what the fuel situation is gonna be like. Is there gonna be rationing? Is petrol gonna get much more expensive? My original plan was to go traveling in May. I was going to go visit my friends in Esperance and then take some drone footage of southern right whales at Point N and maybe even record some early humpback whales on Chains Beach. And then follow the whales along the coast all the way up to Exmouth. Is this plan totally screwed now? I don't know, perhaps. I don't know if I should stay here or go back south, or maybe if I get stuck for a while, I would like to be somewhere warmer. Geraldton stands out on the map, but I don't remember particularly liking it. I don't know how stealth camping is there. Is there many rangers around? I know they have a few freedom camping spots, but they are limited to maybe one night, maybe 3, I don't know. I could always pay for a caravan park, but I really don't want to pay 40 or 50 bucks per night just for myself. And I don't know how I would go about finding another person to share a site with me. I also don't know if many caravan parks allow 2 cars per side, or if we would have to pretend that we are sleeping in a tent. Maybe we could pretend one of our vans is the car and the other one is a trailer. Yeah, Geraldton is by the sea. It's big enough to have shops, shower, dump station. I can't even order contact lenses right now because I don't know where I am going to be next week. In Perth? In Geraldton? And I would like to stock up before we run out of jet fuel and all the deliveries totally collapse. But one thing is for sure, I have had enough of Perth. So I have finally decided to head back south and just wait and see from there. I might stay in Mandurah for a bit, although I'm still not quite sure where I will be sleeping there. Back when I was driving the skip truck, I used to deliver bins to a lot of building sites, and that's where I got the idea to use them as stealth camping spots. No people living there, no neighbors to worry about, nobody cares. But the last time I was in Mandurah, I found what looked like the perfect spot on Google Maps, only to arrive and realize Google Maps was about 6 months behind. So instead of a building site, there was a full-blown house with Christmas decorations, lights, and a family very clearly living in it. So I definitely need to find something else. Let's see what Mandurah has in stock for me this time. But first I'm going to have a nice hot shower at City Beach because I'm not sure what kind of a shower I'm going to have in Mandurah. Possibly just a cold one. So yeah, I'm gonna use this opportunity. Oh, this was hot only at the beginning. Somebody had used all the hot water. I hope you are all safe and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer.